Get it, car. Hi, people of the world. It's your favorite abandoned warehouse, Sarah here with another car review. And today I have a 2020 Mercedes C300 Cabriolet. And this one has the AMG-Line package. Sporty. First up, this C300 is finished in lunar blue metallic, which I know is hard to tell because I'm in an abandoned building, but there's so much depth to this paint. It is gorgeous. And because this has the AMG line package, it does come with this AMG front fascia, the diamond block grille, which from far away, it creates this weird 3D looking optical illusion. It's super pretty and creative. And the giant Mercedes logo is a clever way of hiding the radar for the radar cruise control system. These are the base model LED reflective housing headlights. However, I like that they have the Mercedes logo above the daytime running light element that illuminates when the daytimers are on. Mercedes has a bunch of different optional wheels you can get with their vehicles, and I don't normally get hyped about factory wheels, but I am a big fan of straight multi-spoke wheels like these 19s that are on this one. These are an option and they are wrapped in 225/40 front, 255/35 rear, Continental Conti Sport Contact SSRs. That was really hard to say, I don't know why. Considering the AMG line package is only $1,500, I feel it's great value that it comes with these sport brakes that include 4-piston big front calipers and these drilled rotors. That sounds like metal. I'm not normally a fan of fake tips on any car, especially a Mercedes, but at least they made these ones out of metal. What I am a fan of though, and I don't know why, is these blobs right next to the license plate. They're back bumper blobs, and they just give an elegant look around the license plate, like a picture frame. Now it's time for the best part of the video. I get to go topless. That joke, just so funny. All the windows go down. Oh wow. That's pretty easy. Now that the top is down, something I thought was smart that this car has is if you see in the back of each headrest, these black squares, well, there's actually 2 fans built into there, and it's part of a neck scarf head warming system. So when you're driving this car and it's cold out and the top is down, it'll actually direct warm air around the back of your neck and head. Do you know if you really wanted to be a terrible human being and the person sitting in the front seat was irritating you, you could spit in it and it would probably spray all over the back of their head. Just keep that in mind, drivers. Don't piss off the people in the back seat. This thing is actually equipped with a pop-up roll bar that comes out of the rear deck lid right here to protect the passengers sitting in the back of the car. I thought that was clever. There's also speakers built into the deck lid back here too, so you can be that person driving around with your roof off, blaring your music so everyone can listen to what you're listening to. Nobody enjoys that but you. As far as storage space goes, when the top is down, it doesn't change back here. It is kind of shallow. You notice my storage case for my camera gear can't go in all the way. However, the tripod fits in there nicely because the trunk is actually still deep. There is, however, a button back here to drop the rear seats down and give you even more space. Moving to the interior, these doors are heavy and there's robots that hand you your seat belts when you get in. How nice. Now you guys know how I roll. I keep my reviews short and to the point. I'm not going to bore you by reading off a brochure because it's 2020, but what I am going to do is give you my physical observations from sitting in the C300, starting with the sitting part. This one is paired with optional porcelain leather, which is absolutely gorgeous, especially with the dark blue on the exterior. This back seat's comfy, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little worried being 5'11" that I'm gonna be eating some bugs because my head is pretty close to the top of that windshield line. And it has black ash wood in the center console. It looks like it's made out of plastic, but it feels like real wood. And the brushed aluminum on the dash and on the door cards, all coming together with the porcelain. Oh, what? I stand corrected. There is actually a button that I just found by accident here in the center. If you press it, it raises a spoiler on top of the windshield that will deflect June bugs from your forehead up over the car. So it doesn't matter if you're tall in the back or front seat. you're good. These seats are heated and cooled, as you should expect. It's a Mercedes. What? It raised the net too, so you can catch even bigger bumblebees. Bolstering wise, it's got a good looking flat bottom steering wheel in here that is also heated. That would serve no purpose right now when it's 100 degrees outside, other than drying the sweat on your hands and leaving salt rings on the black leather. TMI. I have to say, I think Burmeister is now a top contender for one of my favorite audio systems equipped in a new vehicle. It also has a little Mercedes ashtray. I thought it was a makeup compact when I saw it in the cup holder. I was like, oh, that's cute. I wonder if I can put the top up from sitting back here. Nope. The infotainment system is fairly easy to navigate with this rotary dial here on the center console, and it does have this nice little pad to rest the palm of your hand on. It's super satisfying just sticking your hand on that. So you have to actually put your foot on the brake to raise the top. So don't worry about cutting someone in half. I don't know how that made any sense. As much as I wish I could continue this review with the top down, I live in Tucson, Arizona, and it's summertime. I will literally catch on fire if I drive this thing with the top down during the day. Ooh, I would probably want to wax under there if that was my car. It's painted. I don't know why, but that's just scary. Not much in the sound department, but there is an AMG version of this. This does have the optional 12.3-inch digital display, which you can control with these little touch pads on the steering wheel, and you can configure the gauges to have different styles as well as display different things inside the tachometer. When you change the display on your gauge cluster, it also configures the colors on this menu to match and flow with the colors on this one over here. Unlike the GLC I reviewed, the lights aren't as noticeable inside here. Still super pretty nonetheless, but just not as noticeable. In the name of science, I shall now give it some beans. I have it set into individual on the dynamic setting down here on the center console. I have the engine set in sport. I did try it in manual and it doesn't actually make it any quicker in a straight line. So it's in sport, steering is in sport, and ESP is in sport plus. Ready? A little bit of hesitation. There we go, it's some torque, some more torque. It's weird. It's torquey, but smooth at the same time. Super smooth. Okay, that's good enough. I really need to emphasize the smooth part. It's not fast, but there's an AMG version if you want to go fast, which I would love to try one of those. Ooh, it's hot up under here. That's impressive. The entire radiator core support structure is all made out of aluminum. Hello, and welcome to Garage Science with Sarah. Under the hood of this A205 chassis Mercedes-Benz is an M260 all aluminum 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder that produces 255 horsepower from 5,800 to 6,100 RPM and 273 pound-feet of torque from 1,800 to 4,000 RPM. Because this platform is available with a twin-turbo 4-liter V8, that leaves quite a bit of room under the hood for this little 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder. You can see right here on the passenger side of the engine, the little twin scroll turbo, there's actually quite a bit of clearance over here on the side of the engine for access to work on it. So from a mechanic's perspective, lots of room under there to work. However, this engine does utilize a rear timing chain. Now, some people will go, oh, you have to pull the engine to do the timing chain. But here's the thing, it's a timing chain, not a spark plug. So there's no point putting unnecessary emphasis and fear on components that are difficult to access that are rarely ever replaced. It's time for the braking test. Let's see how these sport brakes do. No one behind me? Oh my God. Oh, they're good. Wow, my seatbelt almost cut my boobs in half. Oh. The seatbelt got super aggressive tight when I slammed on the brakes. The drivetrain found in this C300 is a 9G-tronic 9-speed automatic transmission. This is rear-wheel drive. However, there is an optional 4MATIC all-wheel drive system available for this car, which is kind of cool. And of course, there's always the AMG editions if you crave more power, which I do. This is crazy. It's like it handles great and it's smooth over bumps. I'm starting to be a big fan of Mercedes. These cars are all right. Ooh, a little bit of oversteer. Dude, this thing is fun. I didn't think I was gonna have this much fun in this car. Ooh, there's some torque. Yeah, get it, car. Brakes are great. You can feel there's some weight there to the car, but I am so blown away at how fun this actually is. I didn't think this car was gonna be this fun on a back road. Man, I really liked changing directions right there too. It's just like I start turning into the corner. It's like, all right, let's do this. And it worked with me. I don't really have that much experience in high-end luxury cars. And I totally get it now. I understand why people hype up Mercedes cars. The one thing that stands out to me the most driving this car around town was just how quiet it is inside the cab for being a convertible. Usually convertible cars, there's a lot of road noise, but this thing is silent in here. And I know it's hard to tell because my camera is suction cupped to the windshield, so it's picking up noise that I can't hear, but it's an experience driving this thing for sure. One criticism though, because this is a convertible and yesterday it was 109 degrees outside, sitting in traffic with the AC on full blast, I actually did feel it get a little bit warmer in the car. So when it's triple digit heat, it still keeps it cool in here, but it was noticeable that it was struggling a little bit to keep up. So if you guys have never seen one of my car reviews before, I have multiple categories to rate and assess vehicles, starting with none other than the bean score. It is a rating of 1 to 5 beans based on the feeling you get in your gut when you give it the beans. I don't know what that was all about. Anyway, the C300 with the 2-liter turbo is getting a rating of 1.5 beans. The car feels a lot quicker than it is on paper, and it's got loads of torque all over the place, and it's buttery smooth, and that's everything that matters on a car like this. And speaking of buttery, because cookies are made of butter, unless they're vegan cookies, and they're both yummy, it doesn't matter. Anyway, the cookie score is a rating of 1 to 5 cookies based on what you get for what you spend. It is an assessment of value, and the C300 Cabriolet, as this one sits, is getting a rating of 2.75 cookies. It is getting an above average score because even though this thing's 63 grand, I feel it's worth every bit of it. And I know when people speak of luxury and refinement, it doesn't really translate from a review into your minds. But I'm telling you, after driving countless cars, this thing does stand out as being a notch above. It's addictive. I'm really starting to like reviewing Mercedes. Either that bird's trying to imitate a machine gun or it is really pissed off right now. Anyway, last up is the penguin score. That's why he's mad, because penguins. I named it after a penguin, not whatever you are. Next up is the substitute desert noisy bird filling in for penguin score. Is a rating of 1 to 5 of those things based on how much I personally like a vehicle. And the C300 Cabriolet is getting a rating of 2.75 of those noisy birds filling in for a penguin. It's a little above average on how much I like it because AMG versions of this car exist and I'm about the fast car version. So I do like this one, but I want to experience an AMG C-Class. I can only imagine how good it would be. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here before those birds decide to gang up on me or something. Bye.